You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show.
Oh, that was the shortened version.
It was really short. I wanted to keep going.
I mean, we were like technoing it out and then popping it, and then it was over. That's
Short
it.
intro.
Short and sweet. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another reclap of our favorite dance show, Dance Moms, right here at AfterBuzz TV. Before we get started, I will go ahead and give myself the Have a Seat award. We are starting late because of me again. So I will have several. After this, I will drive myself over to the Staples Center and choose a chair. I might sit in each and every one of them just so I can recollect myself and get myself together. But of course, I can't do this alone. I have to my far over yonder left, we have.
Hey guys, I'm Candice Camacho.
Hey everybody, I'm Francisco Thurston.
And I'm your late host, Tony Moore. As you guys have noticed, Stephanie, our Aussie, is not with us. She is in Mexico City, getting her Mexico on. I don't know what all that was. We'll get into it.
Getting in her bikini.
But we have a brand new person holding it down in the booth today. We have Phil. Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you?
I joked about it, but I put in my request months ago to do the show for you guys.
Did you really?
I don't believe it.
I'm already laughing. I enjoy you guys.
And we enjoy you, Phil. Thank you. So let's dive right into it. So we had the pyramid, and at the bottom of the pyramid was Kalani, who rejoined us today.
Permanent member.
As a permanent
member.
Yay.
You know, at the beginning I got confused because when she said permanent member, I thought she also included Peyton.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then I was like, oh, Peyton is still a guest.
Yes, Peyton is a guest, which is made clear like later on in the episode.
Very clear, and we all know who is not happy about that. But Kalani's at the bottom because she wasn't there, and now being a permanent member, she has to work her way back up.
Fair enough.
Then we have Kendall. Enough said. And poor Nia, she is back in her
And
spot.
that one spot.
Yeah.
That one spot.
I swear, like, I can almost guess where Nia is going to be each and every week.
Just shift it one here or one there.
There's one here. She never quite moves up unless it's like a Afrocentric piece that is coming up. Then she climbs her way back up. Then she makes her way back down.
Yeah.
But there is Nia. And then we had Chloe.
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 I thought she did really
Yeah.
good last
she had a
week.
beautiful solo, beautiful costume.
Yeah.
Solo
know.
was everything last week. I
It
thought she
was.
was going to be higher. In the
I thought she was going to be higher too.
She deserves to be higher.
She really does. I don't understand why they sleep on Chloe.
They
Chloe's
sleep
a
on her.
fantastic dancer.
She is fantastic.
Then next up we have Lila Mackenzie. Because even though she got a hand-me-down solo
And costume.
she still did very well with it.
Yeah, I feel like those overall scores when you're at a competition, like they're judged differently. So maybe, of course, Mackenzie's score was higher because she was judged, a little bit less than Chloe was.
Yeah,
So those are the overall scores of the competition, but Chloe did win first place in her division.
she did. And there you have it. But she still did good, and Mackenzie is up at the top. That little photo gets me.
So cute.
And then next up we had Maddie.
Huh? Again?
I was thoroughly confused. I was like,
The highest score.
and she's
Overall.
next.
Yeah. Overall.
I thought she was
Yeah.
going to be at the top.
Yeah.
And then I thought,
We have a surprise at the top.
well, yeah. I thought Peyton was going to be at the top. But she's still in the same role as Maddie and Mackenzie. But she did a fantastic job last week with Kinky Boots. She helped the team win by being the lead. She makes a fabulous drag queen.
She does.
The way Abby described it, where she was like, you're supposed to dress up as a boy who dresses as a girl, but you're a girl. I was like,
yeah,
all
boggled.
confused.
Any girl that can get that right, needs to be on top of the pyramid.
Yes, but at the top of the pyramid was Kelly.
Woohoo!
Okay, who else was baffled by that?
I looked the same way
Totally.
Christy did. I was like,
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I was just like, what's the point of her being up at the top?
another
Right.
petty game of Abby's.
But the first thing I thought of was Kelly still has to somehow make appearances in the show, and that was a way for her to make an appearance.
Put her on the pyramid.
Put her on the pyramid.
Yeah. We saw a lot less of her this episode.
Who?
Kelly.
Kelly? Well, of course.
Yeah.
Because she's no longer there. We saw that photo, and that was it.
God.
So then it is announced that they are going back to World Class Talent, and they're going to Canton, Ohio, where the Wicked Witch of the East, West, North just pick one and go with it.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well, that's how Abby describes it.
Yeah. Okay.
But Cathy and her team, home turf.
And she's working it. She's had an extra 2 weeks with this number.
Well, seeing as how she pulled that group number from the competition last time to save it for this time.
Should be perfection.
Did you notice
Should
how
be.
she had the new sign in her studio with the basket of apples? Candy apples upgraded with the new logo on the wall.
I missed that.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
more so paid attention to her sign that says the only #1 dance studio
in Stark County.
Yeah.
It's probably the only studio in that county.
Ohio.
Which makes you #1.
Right.
I mean, if you flip through the yellow pages and you look at dance studio, candy apples.
That's the one I'm going to. That's,
Who else would be listed? You know what? If you live in Ohio and you live near Cathy, please tell us if there's another dance studio in that county.
Yes.
I would love to know that.
yeah. Look at the yellow pages for us.
Google it. Somebody, one of y'all are gonna do it, and I will thoroughly
Someone
appreciate
do our
that.
homework for us, please.
Yes. And so then back to ALDC, the assignments were made. They are doing a group number where Abby has envisioned this dance called Frost. And as soon as they said Frost, I was like, ooh, Frozen, yay. But there's an issue because she has this vision of this group dance with these specific costumes that they took home with them. But noticeably missing are 2 of those costumes. So automatically, Abby looks to Christy and says, call Kelly and get those costumes back. And Christy's like, nope, call her lawyer. What do you guys think about that situation? Who should be in charge of getting in touch with Kelly to make sure those costumes are returned?
I think Abby should be in touch. It's her, it's her gig. It's her company. It's her responsibility to get those costumes back.
With everything that's going on, though, would it have been best for one of the moms to contact Kelly, or for Abby to go through the route of not directly contacting Kelly, but contacting her through the lawyer?
I think it's one of Abby's games again, because she doesn't want everybody in. Deep down, she doesn't want all of the dancers in the number anyway. So I think it's her roundabout way to weed out people.
Keep that thought in mind. Francisco, what do you think?
It could have alleviated the situation with the moms trying to contact Kelly, but it's such a bigger situation than just get the costumes, because it's Kelly's hate for Abby. Kelly's not going to want to give the costumes to Abby. It's Abby just toying with Christy and knowing that Christy's in the middle. So why not just throw another wrench in the game to make it more complicated and difficult?
Right.
It's Abby's, like you said, it's Abby's game. It's Abby's way of just, once again, hitting the nail on the head.
Keep all that in mind. We're going to travel over to Canton, Ohio, into Candy Apple Land, where they are rehearsing that group number. So they're putting in a group number, and Nick has a solo. And it's revealed that Nick had just recently lost his father.
It's so sad.
So sad.
I was like, oh my gosh. And of course, Cathy's like, the best way for him to deal with this is through dance. But I mean, that has to be really tough. I am very thankful to have both of my parents. But I just can't imagine
Going through that.
and then going through the whole taping of
At such a young
Dance
age,
Moms.
too.
Yeah.
That's
young.
That's a lot, and I think this dance, I think in a roundabout way, I don't know if you guys got this, was supposed to be like a tribute kind of to the
Definitely.
dad, and a way for Nick to work through whatever he was going through. But I never would have known that had they not mentioned it.
Yeah, he's a professional. Yeah.
True professional. So these costumes. So this whole big ordeal with the costumes, and the one person who is the most vocal and concerned about a lot of things that are happening at ALDC is our favorite dance mom, Leslie.
Oh, Leslie.
Love her.
First
Not.
off, it's like, it's already been established that Peyton really wants to be there. And Leslie brings her there because Peyton wants to be there. If that is the case, Leslie, I think, should follow Christy's lead and just shut up.
Just shh.
But Leslie finds something wrong with everything.
All the time.
The main thing being that Kalani is now a permanent member of the ALDC Elite Junior Competition team. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that it should have been both? It should have been Peyton over Kalani, or Kalani as it is? Do you agree with what Abby did?
Kalani is an exceptional dancer. Like, she's a shoe-in for me regardless. Peyton, she is a member of the studio. She attends classes regularly, but she's not their age. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. If it comes down to group dances like last week, where you need that star that you can put in the front that, can draw in attention, Peyton's great for that, but she's just not 11 or 12 years old. She's 16. She's a teenager. It doesn't work.
I feel like that too. I feel like she just looks huge.
Yeah.
And not in weight, because
No.
I don't want
Tall.
anybody to be
Tall
all
girl.
like, oh, because someone said that. They were like, oh, you guys picked on Abby's weight, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about the fact that obviously Peyton is a little more womanly.
Yeah. Well, she's
Than everyone
16,
else.
She's a teenager.
and Kalani's 13.
Yeah.
Clearly, for me, I don't think that Peyton holds up to Kalani. I think Kalani is in a class all her own. I mean, perfection.
Yes, I do agree.
Instead of Leslie focusing on that, though, she just needs to let it go. She's not going to change it. She just needs to get off that bandwagon. Just leave it alone.
This whole episode, I just kept writing, oh my God, Leslie, just hush. Ugh, Leslie. Because she just had an issue
She
with everything.
throws daggers at everyone all the time. I mean, if there wasn't anything wrong, she would like drum up something to make something wrong.
Seriously.
And I feel like she kept trying to get the other moms on board with the fact that Kalani was now a permanent member, which none of the other moms seemed to have a problem with
like them
Kalani
being
being
there.
a permanent member. They had a problem with her.
Yes,
Holly said something fantastic.
she did.
The boohoo fest for Leslie and Peyton.
Yes.
That Nia wasn't getting a solo. She's there, as a regular member too, but she's not going to be on the train for the boohoo fest for Leslie
Right.
Peyton.
The way Holly's commentary is just,
Yes.
she just knows how to classingly, that's a new word, put everything into perspective without yelling, screaming. It's like, she's just very like, this is just how it is, and I'm just not going to be a part of it.
Yeah,
So-
when she she's one of my favorite moms. When she speaks, I listen because I feel like the way she packages her sentences has meaning. She's not just out there, throwing daggers at people or saying things to just blow smoke,
Yeah.
She's real.
She's very real. Another mom that seems to just keep having a big issue is Christy. What was that whole thing in the lobby where she just kept dropping the F-bomb over and over again? Like, it's like Christy goes from 0 to 60 in 3.5.
Quickly, yeah.
And I kind of look at the situation, I'm like, did I miss something? Like, what set you off so quickly? The fact that Abby talked, or like, what was the issue?
I think it's that whole Kelly situation. It's still very fresh, and Abby's like, you need to call Kelly. And I think there might be a situation that involves lawyers or whatever, and then she got frustrated, and then it led to that. And it's like, I didn't think it was called for, but...
No, it was just, I mean, she simply just could have said, no, Abby, I'm not calling her.
Right.
Like, it's not my responsibility to call Kelly. You call her. And if you can't call her, you get your lawyer to. Like, leave me out of it. I think that was kind of wrong to put Christy in the middle of it anyway, because, even though Kelly and Christy are friends, it's not Christy's responsibility to get those costumes back.
No, it's not. It's Abby's costumes, Abby Dance, Abby's studio. And why was she so stuck on those one costume?
Right.
Like, that
so
one
many.
costume. She can get any costume made, like, easily.
But it's all about the vision. When she gets it in her head, she just keeps going. And
She knew what she was
the vision,
doing.
and she loves costuming. That's like her second passion too.
Like she said, whenever she thinks of a dance, she thinks of the costumes. And she was like, these beautiful costumes with the fur and all. And I get that. Sometimes we get, very stuck in our ways as artists. Like, we see something and it has to come into fruition. Even if it frustrates us, we will not deviate from that.
Right.
So I kind of get that. But a mom who was not afraid to call Kelly multiple times was Leslie.
Leslie, once again.
She is just so concerned about Peyton's spot. It's like, don't be concerned about it. Like, she's there.
Just let it happen.
Just go with the flow. You know what you're getting into when you come to the studio. Like, I don't understand why she's so surprised about how Abby acts, how she makes it very tough to not put Peyton as a permanent member. And Leslie has been on this quest since last season.
Forever.
To get Peyton as a permanent spot. And I get it. I get the hesitation. Is that, again, like we said, Peyton is very womanly than the rest of the girls.
Right.
So visually, she sticks out, maybe for the wrong reasons. Now, with Kinky Boots, she was able to kind of, work around that.
Make it work.
Yeah, but if you decide to put Maddie back in the front as the lead and put Peyton in the back, all eyes are going to draw to Peyton just because of her height. And it's kind of like, what is she doing back there?
Leslie sets a really bad example for her daughter to be just be going on. And I mean, what kind of example does that really set to the girls? Like, you don't want your child to be completely identified with this spot.
Yeah.
Because what if it doesn't happen? I mean, life goes on, nobody's dying here. It can't be, you can't be like so married to that one thing. I mean, she has her whole life ahead of her.
Yeah.
She makes it such a big thing too. Like, Leslie makes this situation so much bigger than it actually is.
Needs to be.
And it's called the Abby Lee Dance Company Junior Elite Company. It's juniors.
Yeah.
And
Junior.
Peyton.
Not Mrs.
Right.
Is that the next size up for
not
girls?
the teen and not the senior.
Oh, it's not Mrs.?
Mrs.
What is it? What is
No.
junior then what?
It goes petite, junior, teen, senior.
Oh,
Whoa.
what?
Work, Francisca.
Right? Well, wait, but who's Mrs.?
Mrs. is like,
Like,
I don't know.
later on.
Later on,
that don't
where?
exist.
Yeah.
Tony.
I swear, when I go into the Target, because that's where
Oh,
I shop.
he's
Yeah.
talking about clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Tony, when I see Mrs., I go the other way. So whatever Mrs. is, I'm not wearing.
Is that the big size? Well, no, that's plus.
Well,
In the,
no.
Somebody is going to correct. I know there's a miss size.
You
and
guys
that's-
correct us out
that's
there.
Like, that's
Well,
like the next size up.
in the dance industry, it's how it's labeled as petite, junior, teen, senior.
I was regarding
clothing
sizes.
sizes.
That's the only thing I could have related it to. But all of that frustration and whatever tiff that Christy and Abby have translated into their rehearsal because Abby was so worked up and so extra. She's extra
yes.
Abby
And
after that.
poor Chloe is there crying, and I just felt so awful for her because Christy should know by now that
Whatever you do is going to affect the kids.
Yeah,
It's an
and
example of what I was talking about last week. This poor kid suffers because of her mom. All of her opportunities and chances are out the window because of Christy, and I feel so bad for that little girl.
yeah. As a mother, you always. I mean, it should be just a given motherhood instinct to put your child first and to shut your mouth. You can't be cussing like that.
Yeah.
You have to do whatever you can to hold your tongue.
Yeah.
And
Well, Yeah.
To a certain extent. I can see being, defending your daughter.
Right.
But not the way that some of these moms do it.
Right. I mean, there's a certain way to kind of stick up for your daughter.
Dr. Holly.
Yes, but what Holly does is encourages Nia to work hard. When you work hard, you get the reward. Where you're not exactly entitled and owed anything because you did great 1 week. You have to continue doing that and continue showing that.
Right.
And so that's what I like about Holly, is because she leaves it up to Nia. If you don't like your position in the pyramid, I'm not going to be the one that's going to be like, hey, I don't understand why she's there. It's
work harder this week.
You got to work hard. Whereas Leslie. Why is Peyton not? I'm like, oh my God, wah 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 wah.
That's what it sounds like too.
So also the added pressure that Abby has is the fact that she's going against Cathy and the Candy Apples, and that also makes Abby go a little cray cray with them. Yeah. So then now traveling over to Candy Apple's land, we are taking a look into their rehearsal. The one thing I noticed was Cathy dancing. Who noticed that?
She was.
I was like, oh, okay, Cathy, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
She was like, you got to reach, and then you got to do, and then you just. I was like, oh,
yeah.
I was like, okay, Cathy,
She teaches
good for you.
at her
Yeah.
studio.
She was
Yeah.
getting into it.
Yeah, I was like, kudos to you on that there. Any other thoughts about their rehearsal? I think it's so weird when they do this whole back and forth thing with ALDC and Candy Apples, because I feel like Candy Apples don't really have anything to really talk about.
What was really nice that Cathy did was she did compliment the Abbey Lee Dance Company girls. She said that they have really nice lines. So that was, a nice little throw-in dynamic thing there.
When Abby's girls do it, they do it like this.
Of course, but then of course there has to come some negativity when
With them
she's
making
like,
fun of the voices.
I can't stand the mom's voices, and they talk like this.
Yeah.
And then Jill with her bedroom voice, and she always.
She doesn't sound like that though.
She doesn't. She went on and on.
That was
Just
a horrible
irritating.
impression.
Yeah.
Horrible impression.
I never thought Jill sounded like that.
No, Jill is more nasally. I feel like more up here in her.
Yeah, if Kendall is going to have any opportunities, then
Yeah.
that's it. Oh my God, yes,
You got
nailed
it.
it, nailed it. All right, because clearly I am working from memory. Have I missed anything?
I think we're going along
Quite nicely.
Yeah.
Let's go into the competition.
Yeah.
So here they are in Canton, Ohio. World class talent again. I feel like this is starting to be intensity. All last season was like, guess where we're going to? Intensity. This week we're going to intensity. Next week we will be going to intensity. So hopefully next week they won't be traveling to world class talent again. But if they are, that's wonderful and
But
great.
previously to the competition, Abby actually cuts Peyton before they get to the competition. We forgot to say that.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Okay, so after Christy dropped the F-bomb, Abby then said, no, if any other mom drops the F-bomb, then they're gone. And going back to the costumes.
Yeah, that's the costume. That's when she cut Peyton from the group dance.
So what I thought was great for the moms was that they all came together and they were like, we know that we're missing 2 costumes. We want everyone to dance in this, because she almost made it a trio. Because she was starting to like look at it as like, well, maybe this could work as a trio. And the moms were like, no.
She's a coward.
Yeah, like all the kids need to dance.
Right.
They took charge, which was nice.
They definitely did. And I greatly appreciated that. The fact that they brought in just stuff that they could wear other than just all looking alike in unison. They just brought stuff that can mix and match and blah, blah, blah. And of course,
Make it work.
nothing fit Peyton because
She's 16.
She is a teenager.
so of course a Maddie costume is not going to fit on Peyton.
No.
A Nia
Unless
costume is not going to fit on Peyton.
and Leslie, nothing is going to fit Peyton.
Right. So at that point, what Leslie should have done is instead of depending solely on Kelly getting those costumes, she should have went out and bought something or made something E6000, some stuff to a white top and hit it.
Yeah. Get a glue gun and glue some feathers onto the.
That's why she was
bandeau.
frustrated though, because she says, "You guys, you never focus on us when we're here. Why can Peyton get a costume made like the other girls?" I think that's where the frustration comes from. I understand it, but it's the way she handles the situation.
Yeah. Well, you weren't there for that number.
Right.
So of course you're not going to have that costume.
Exactly.
So we were trying to get them, but we're missing 2. So everybody has their costumes except you.
Yeah.
And they have something to fit Kalani.
Yeah.
So.
But then she reverted back to Kalani once again on the Kalani bandwagon, just hating on her.
I think Leslie is just trying to figure out who to point the finger at as to why Peyton is not a permanent member.
So she points the finger at everybody and gets it wrong every time.
Instead of just going, because I'm the difficult one, and because Abby doesn't want to deal with me, Peyton is not permanent.
Exactly.
And also, she's huge. And she's a teenager. Tall,
older than the other girls.
More womanly.
Different age category.
Womanly is what we're going with.
But Kira's totally not affected by Leslie and tells her.
She is not.
No.
She is sitting there like.
She said, "You're a guest."
Yeah, she did.
I love that. She was
put
like,
her-
"You're a guest," and she was like, "Oh no, we're not. We're not guests. We are part of this team. We travel with them."
Then what would you be, Leslie, if you're not a guest?
And what did I write? Guest.
Guest. Check. Sorry
about it. But you, Leslie, and Peyton are a guest. And of course, continuing with this whole like costume thing, was Peyton didn't have something to wear for her solo because apparently she had like a medium adult and she needed a large. And instead of telling Abby before they got to Canton, Ohio, that the costume didn't fit, they're there. It's time for her to get ready, and it's like, the costume didn't fit.
How is she gonna do something from Canton, Ohio?
It's like, what are we gonna do? She get her something to wear.
Why on earth would you not just say, "Hey, this doesn't fit me"?
And bring options, or call her the night before.
Why would you wait until like minutes before you're practically going on the stage?
According to Leslie, it should have been Abby's responsibility because Abby doesn't pay enough attention when it comes to Peyton.
Well,
but Abby was handling the situation actually very calmly.
Surprisingly,
like she was like, "You need an adult large, honey."
Yeah, I kind of felt like Abby was just over Leslie.
Yeah.
And she knew that she did not want to deal with her. But I think for a slight second, just like when Little Mama a few weeks ago forgot her costume. And was it Fallon?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Fallon.
And Abby went out and bought multiple costumes. I feel like Abby was in the, when you're in that midst of like thinking on how to rectify the situation. But of course, who messes it up? Leslie.
Once again,
this is your responsibility. You need to find her a costume. You don't spend enough time with her. Blah 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 blah. And then
it just
F-bomb.
You're so beep.
And Abby was like, "What did you say?" And she had the nerve to repeat it.
She's
Abby
asking.
Said, bye, girl.
And it was bye. We're done. And then Leslie's like, "Don't ask us to come back."
Oh, you won't be getting asked to come back.
But Leslie. They will. They'll be back.
Yeah.
If they come back, I think Peyton, if you go back without your mama.
Tell your mom to shut up.
You know what you can really tell your mama? Have a seat. Have a seat.
I had to join in on that.
In her car, in the parking lot of the Abby Lee Dance Company, and don't come inside.
You know what? It's so funny because I actually really enjoyed meeting Leslie, and to see her so different on TV is so crazy to me. I'm like, what? Where does this person come from? Because she's not like this.
TV.
Yeah.
Cameras make you do weird things.
I'm like, you are acting crazy.
Because I don't act like this on a normal basis. I don't go around telling people have a seat.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe I did. So now we go into the dance competition. And we have first up Nick's solo. What are your thoughts about Nick's solo? Because I have my own.
He's a beautiful technician. He has great legs, great extension, wonderful like dancer. Like not a lot of people can do what he can do. I just don't enjoy watching his performance. Like I'm just very like, okay.
Yeah. He's great because he has the perfect combination between strength and flexibility. which is a great combination. Usually dancers just have the flexibility, beautiful spine, beautiful, layouts. But there's something, he's definitely not a Kalani. There's something there that's like missing a little bit. It was kind of like it was a move and then he finished it, but it didn't like flow together.
Transitions.
I noticed some sickled feet and his arms, were, like she said,
It's very lanky.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
What I noticed was, yes, he is an amazing dancer with amazing technique. There were times where I felt like he was, and I don't know if this is the right way to explain it, but he was overextending things. Like his back bend, I thought was a little too much back bend, if that makes sense.
He's just real flexible.
I mean, obviously, but I was just like, "Ooh, that's too much. Your head's about to hit the floor." Like that's how that's good that you're that flexible, but like, I mean, in a minute, your eyes are just gonna be like on the floor upside down. I felt like he was lacking emotion and feeling for it. Like when you watch Maddie, when you watch Chloe, when you watch Kalani, there's this feeling that you get from their piece. You can't tell that they're just kind of going through the 5, 6, 7, 8, but they're actually like invoking some sort of emotion and feeling in their, the Maddie face and then Chloe and, and all that. So I think that's what he was lacking, was just the feeling and just letting go.
He relies on that flexibility and everything. So
like, bam, look what I can do.
Right.
Leg, look what I can do.
So it's almost as if he's hiding behind his tricks because he does have so many great tricks.
Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, legs, back, which I still thought was overextended. But, like, everything technique-wise was amazing. I just felt like there was a lack of feeling and emotion.
correct.
Cut to Kalani's solo. Kalani, I thought, was absolutely amazing.
Love
And
her.
it seemed so effortless.
Yeah.
Like it just flowed and she just kind of pranced, and I thought it was beautiful. And again, they were like, ooh, Nick was going to be a tough act to follow. But I think Kalani did it and swept the floor with him.
Yeah, she's my favorite dancer.
Yeah. I mean, technique-wise, amazing, just like Nick was. Had the feeling, the grace, everything. And I think that's what made her dominate that.
Yeah. I wrote down perfection, and I wrote down that I could watch her forever.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I had my moment again where I was jotting down notes, and then I just wrote her name, and I had sat and I watched her entire thing, and then they clapped, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. She exudes this amazing confidence that is just like bubbling over like the whole time on the stage. And she did have a tough act to follow. I mean, his solo was great, and she did not let that bother her one iota. I mean, she just pranced on the stage. Those feet are like outstanding.
Amazing. I wanted to ask you guys this. How did you guys feel about Cathy giving the candy apples jacket to the judge before the
Sneaky.
contest?
No shame.
No shame at all.
I thought it was very sneaky. I thought it was also rude of him
to wear it.
to wear it
take
and have it. Because I feel like as a judge, you're supposed to appear impartial.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a judge, technically that's a gift. And you can't accept gifts from, someone who's competing in the competition. So it looked really bad to me. I would rather him have been like, no, like I can't
He should have
accept this
declined
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe after the competition, sure. But not during it.
And Abby was right. Like, you have other actually paying customers here. Why are you wearing one studio's jacket?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
It made me think that Cathy didn't have the confidence in her dancers, so
Yeah.
she wanted to, pull that jacket out of her paint box and see if that got her any more points.
Right.
But he was kind of a schmooze, though. He was.
He was like, oh, thank you. Of course, I'll gladly
Oh,
wear
thank
it.
you.
I am
I'll
cold.
wear that. I am cold.
And that was the
I'm glad to
only
wear that.
judge. She didn't like pass him out to everybody else. She just gave it to him.
And then he was like,
That was awkward. So into the group dances, we had Candy Apples, who
I like their dance.
I feel like it was a bunch of soloists coming together.
Yeah, I felt like technique-wise they were great. They just don't have that same feeling that Abby's team
They don't
does.
flow together.
Yeah.
They haven't flowed together since that one group for me. They haven't flowed together like that.
Yeah, like I still feel like their work seems too adult. I don't know why. I maybe because I keep having that thought, but it was a great piece. I wasn't feeling anything from it. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the boys are great, but it does seem like soloists that are just dancing together on stage.
Yeah.
There's no transitions that make it work together like Abby. Abby's really great with staging and formations and transitioning, and their stuff is just like...
It
All
was
over.
just splashed here and there.
yeah. But then cut to Abby, and oh my gosh, those girls, they just, first off, they could barely hear their music, so they had kind of a rocky start.
They
But it's
did.
like once they got their groove, it was just beautiful.
Professionals.
Total.
She's grooming professionals.
Yeah.
Any other kid that would have just startled and, they might not have gotten their groove back. But once they got it, I mean, it was outstanding.
Yeah, I thought the group dance was amazing. It looked effortless. They still dance so well together.
Yeah.
It's what they do with each other is amazing, and it broke my heart. Like after the dance, how they were just like, "Oh my God, we messed up. We're gonna get killed. Oh my God!" And then Maddie was like, "I've never messed up that much. Oh my God, I
know.
missed my turn." Like they were hard on
even
themselves.
tell.
Yeah,
I couldn't even tell.
I thought they picked it up really well. There was a little bit of drama in Candy Apple Land.
Yes.
With
Lucas, little brat.
yeah, and he clearly said that.
You saw it too.
Yeah, you
he
saw it on the-
clearly said that, and the
Joanne.
she was not having it. She was like, we are out of here.
Yeah.
And she grabbed her kids and she like and Lucas was just like, but I didn't say it. I was like, yeah, you said it.
Yes, you totally
He
said it.
had
You
such
totally
a
said that.
tantrum over something he actually did.
Yeah.
was
Like
like-
that whole, and it was over something so silly, like
The Abby Lee sign.
like the
Yeah.
loudmouth sign or whatever, which I thought was a little inappropriate for them to
Yeah.
have a sign that said Abby Lee equals loudmouth. But then like effing, I don't know what it was about this episode with the F-bomb.
This was like the F-bomb episode.
Poor little Gavin too.
Like they should have just titled this the F-bomb.
I
Yeah,
kind of
fun.
felt like that whole thing was like a little bit filler. Like they
Yeah.
had like a couple more minutes to fill. So
They're like,
you know.
we'll create this.
Yeah.
But
Little
of course,
sister clocked it though. She goes, "I could see you. You said it."
yeah. She's like, no, you said it. Effing stupid. I was like, okay. But in the end, we had the solos. Nick was third, and Kalani came in first, of course. Yay.
Duh.
And then in the group, Candy Apples got second, and Abby Lee
Once again.
in her hometown.
Beat
Yeah.
How about that?
12th win in a row.
Right. So we were right. We knew that. It was a little shaky,
Yeah.
I thought. But even with a saved dance, she still could not come out on
2
top.
weeks of preparation, still didn't win. Again, it's old. I'm so tired of Candy Apples versus Abby Lee Dance Company.
Yeah, because Candy Apples will never
They'll
be
never
victorious.
they'll never get to that platform that she's at.
No,
It's getting just redundant now. I'm like, ugh.
very redundant. So let's go into some predictions.
Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, I actually caught some of what was going to happen next week. Bring on my notes. So, what do you guys think is going to happen next week?
I think Nia's going to get another ethnic solo next week. I think she might be higher on the pyramid.
Okay.
She needs a solo.
She needs a solo.
She needs to get a little bit higher.
Bless her.
Yes.
Any other thoughts as to what's coming up next week?
Before next week, I'm performing at Kids' Choice Awards this Sunday.
That is
Right.
right. Congratulations. Y'all check out Francisco on the Kids' Choice Award. You're performing with Todrick.
Todrick Hall, opening number.
So make sure you guys know that we had Todrick here a few weeks ago. You can look at his YouTube channel, and they have rehearsal videos leading up to the Kids' Choice Awards. So make sure you do that. And hopefully we're going to have Todrick back in
Yeah, he
at
wants
some point in
to.
time.
Yeah.
But he is busy, obviously. Busy.
busy.
But I do have to wonder, where was my booking?
Oh,
I mean, I'm at the top of the pyramid, Todrick Hall.
this week I was at the top of the pyramid, so I'm dancing this weekend.
Awesome. We'll have to check you out.
Yeah, watch. I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I love it. So make sure you guys tune in. When is it, Aaron?
Saturday at 8 o'clock, Nickelodeon.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that is it for our lovely reclap of your favorite dance show, Dance Moms. Before we head out, let everyone know where they can find you.
Hey everyone, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook at Candice_Camacho.
You guys can find me on Twitter at TheFrancisco or Instagram and Facebook. My name is Francisco Thurston.
And of course, you can find me on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Lounging with Tony, or my website, loungingwithtony.com. And also find me on YouTube and subscribe to Lounging with Tony. Thanks, Phil, for holding it down in the booth today.
Yeah.
No problem.
And thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week on time at 8 p.m. for another lovely reclap of your favorite dance show, Dance Moms. Bye, everyone.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.